Podcast on a Friday? That's unusual, you say. Well, there's a good reason for this. Starting tomorrow, I'll be hiding off to Montana, so it felt... we originally thought it would be interesting to actually record this at an earlier date or something, but I came up with the idea to do it a day early since I'll be leaving tomorrow, and we should be back on regularly scheduled Saturdays starting on the 21st. I should be back before then. But yes, welcome to another edition of Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast. We're the two heads behind the artistry-based business, as well as a friend or two, and thankfully there is a friend this time. Thankfully there friend or two, and thankfully Sarcasm here made the call. Basically discuss latest that have gone down, or in this case actually a recap. And in this case it's an interesting recap on the fact that this would have been my Independence Day weekend special, but Equestria Girls then intervened out of the blue. So I moved this down. And why did I choose this? Well,
hey, Sarcasm?
Yeah?
I'm getting a lot of feedback. Could you mute or something while you're not talking?
Okay.
Thank you. Maybe set up a push to talk or something would be nice, yeah. Back to you, Alex. Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said there for a second.
I was wondering. Yeah, I was also wondering where that was coming from. Anyway, the reason why I chose this episode is because it does involve someone getting a little independent from their manager, so to speak.
Ooh, I see. Good choice. It was kind of a classic in the an instant classic by the fandom, I think.
Especially since this was the last episode written by Amy King Rogers.
Ooh, even more so then. Got some. This is by far one of the better songs from this season. I'd say, if not the best. It kind of goes without saying, almost.
On the topic of music, and since we're on the topic of music, I would like to point out that this is where we got an official equestrian national anthem, so to speak.
I quite liked it as well. Did you? Or what did you think of it?
I liked it. It was good.
Not quite as great as our grand anthem. That's definitely more the style that you might think ponies might sing along to. A lot more melodious than ours. Kind of like other anthems as well. Has some good tendencies. Better than a lot of actually anthems that I've heard. And Spikes doesn't really count, does it?
Not really, no. I didn't even watch that part of that episode.
Yeah, I kind of usually skip by that as well. Did they use any of the lines from it, or did he just totally make it up?
He was trying to think something of Griffinish, and that's not what I would call equestrian.
Oh, and was it Equestria or was it? It was Cloudsdale, wasn't it?
Oh wait, was it Cloudsdale? I don't know. It didn't. I don't know. It didn't feel. I don't know. It didn't feel like it. I don't know. It didn't feel full equestrian. That's all I can say.
Definitely. It wasn't written after a battle. Like ours was. Ours was just a anthem after we won a battle. Well, that's kind of weird. There's a front for you guys watching the stream. Sorry about that. Since I usually cover the art, I guess I'll talk about the art. Not as bold as other episodes around this time. I would say a little lacking background-wise. They kind of just... Rewatching it again, it does really show that they kind of just use the same backgrounds, you know, at different angles and stuff like that, which is fine, I think, but it doesn't give you much for your eyes to look at. Countess Coloratura's designs I quite liked, and I liked how they had a couple designs in there that she was only in for a couple, like maybe seconds, like the one with Rarity that Rarity did for her at the last second. That was really cool, and then they just got rid of it. You know, she didn't go out on the stage looking like that. So it's kind of mixed bag for me. It's not like a huge visual episode like some of the other ones have been as of late, but definitely kind of a fun one. I think they kind of came up with that background, the stage background, and then kind of ran with it the rest of the time. So, yeah.
I think they were trying to go for something that was publicly appealing.
Oh, for like the stage or something?
When you were talking about what Rarity was trying to come up with?
Yes. Well, Rarity's design was really good. I quite like that a lot. I did like her pompous dress as well, sort of. I like the eyelashes; those were really cool. I kind of wish they kind of stayed, to be honest, but you know, it wasn't her. It wasn't her interior self.
Well, as with the changelings later, they had to show something that they had to give a visual. They have to give a visual version of the fact that she had changed a bit.
Yes, she's like in a transition phase too with the Rarity costume. And for those who hadn't seen the episode, I'm talking about. What is this? Okay, Rarity dressed her like this, basically. This is her original form, and this was her final form. So, the final boss. Actually, that picture I showed, this is a better picture of Rarity's. So I like this. I like all this bit right here. That's fun. Don't quite like this, but I like this. And the floofs. I like this hair design. It's kind of a rarity, actually, now that I think about it.
Oh yeah. I think some of that paid for some inspiration for the punk rarity thing we got in season 7.
I like punk rarity. Oh, everyone likes punk rarity. Who doesn't like punk rarity? Everyone's like, oh, rarity should just look like that from now on. That's a bit extreme. Whoa, calm down now. Whoa. Don't want to get too excited. Hang on.
Going back to the stage, having been to some concerts myself, it's nice how they managed to incorporate certain. It's nice how they managed to incorporate certain things like the flashy light shows and the fact that lights were being turned on to the audience. They weren't swinging them back and forth, but they were there.
You will have to be my authority on stages, because I have not been to very many of said concerts. But yeah, I just never have been huge on them. I want to see if I can pull in an image of her. Where did I say that I put my D drive? There we go. Oh shoot. Hey boys, we can cheat. Did you see that? You don't even need to guess now. We can get the color perfect version.
Something tells me you don't stay up late for, in the Everfree Northwest case, pony stock.
Pony stock. Why is this like? You see how it's like? Is this under it? Oh, it's under it. Oop. There we go. It is kind of like pony stock.
Oh, you actually popped in on occasion?
Sorry, what?
Oh, you've actually popped in on occasion? Because I usually don't see you there.
Oh no, yeah, I kind of missed it. Okay. No, wait. I this year I went to it both time. I mean, I went to it. I at least showed up. I remember showing up, but I think I had like work the next day, so I was pretty tired. And I had been wearing full knight armor all day, so that was something. So I was very, very tired by pony stock, since I had been wearing an extra 20-ish pounds. I did actually dance in it. I wish I got some pictures of that. I was basically entirely out of breath by the end of it. Totally worth it.
Yeah. Love going to the. Yeah. Love going to it.
It's definitely a must. Maybe next year, I'll stay out longer. Maybe cut back on the cosplay so I don't like literally pass out from heat exhaustion. Seeing as the helmet I wear is, I'm not joking, it's about 20 pounds. So.
You should have seen him, Colin. It was something along the lines of Monty Python-esque Celestia crossover sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like, if you've ever looked up what a Crusader looks like, it's like a perfect representation of that.
Only his has Celestia's son.
Yeah. Czarcasm, I think your mic's maxing out again. What do you think of so we haven't gotten like anything else. Like it's been in this one episode. Oh, they're done. They're done with it. I mean, I can understand it if she's expensive. I mean, she's probably a hard.
Well, they did get a Broadway actress, Lena Hall. And she works a bit more professionally.
Okay. It's kind of like cheese sandwich where they'd have to get Weird Al Yankovic back for it to be authentic.
Yes.
In other words, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, guys. Hopes and dreams dashed upon the rocks.
And speaking of which, she was brilliant. Singing, speaking.
Very, very genuine. I liked. I've never been a huge fan of the songs in general. I'm just not a huge musical person. I love music, but I've kind of not liked it interspersed with my viewing pleasure as much. But My Little Pony actually has quite nice music a lot of the times, and this is one of the better songs they've had so far. I liked stuff like Raise This Barn and stuff, which are classics. Just everyone likes them.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the Crusader songs are pretty good too, like Babseed springs to mind immediately. But other than that, a lot of the times it's not a mainstay for me. Not like I can't bear them. There's only a couple of songs that I couldn't even sit through. A lot of times they're played as jokes, so I can skip them without losing much of the plot or something. But this one's a very good one. Both songs actually were very good.
Yes.
The anthem and the what she sings afterwards.
Question is the one I love.
Yeah. What do you think, Sarcasm?
Colin?
Sorry, the button on my microphone's been kind of wonky today.
Ouch.
But yeah, definitely like all of them. Though, one of the things with the Razzle Dazzle one, I keep hearing the sound in the background occasionally. It sounds like someone banging a spoon on their bowl. Like at the beginning of it. Like every couple seconds, I know the right sound to imitate for that, but it's like
I think that's what's supposed to be. I think that's what's supposed to be. I think that's what. I think that's how normally the genre would. I think that's normally how that kind would actually go. Because if you listen to the songs, because if you listen to the intro to "Shake It Up," it also has those.
Oh, kind of like the people slapping two sticks together. What do you mean, like the drums start or something? There's no drums in this, though.
It was like drums. It happens 3 times, before the main part of the song begins.
I'd have to listen back. I guess I missed it or something. I even have Sennheiser earphones, so I wasn't focusing, I guess, when we rewatched it pre-show because I was drawing this, but what? Ooh, I could really cheat and I could pull it up on Spotify, but we might get copyright strike, so we might hold back on that.
Yeah. Best you don't.
Best not.
That is a 2 votes nil. We'll see if we can do the background art for this, but the equestrian flag isn't quite as bad as the Washington flag, but it's a near second. It's kind of like half cartoony, half realistic, so in other words, it's really hard to fake. And I'm terrible at drawing stars. You know what? You know what we need behind her? Hang on. Let me just add another layer. All these ones. Best flag ever designed. Nine, 10, 11. Oh, crap. Only got 12 stripes. There's 12. There's 13. It's gonna take a while, guys. Just give me a sec.
I was questioning which version to go for because there's a lot of them. The original 13 circular. There's also the one with the British flag in the corner, and then and then of course the more modern one with all 50.
There's actually several in between that as well. There's one with 42 and 4. No, there's one with 48, and there's a 49 flag, and then there's a 50 because and there's a bunch of them in between that because we didn't annex Hawaii for a while, and Alaska wasn't part of us either for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oops. How many stripes we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Got the correct amount.
Oh, wow.
Looky there. Or is it red, white, or is it white, red, white, red? Or is it like no, it's red. It's red, isn't it? It's red. And white. Red. White. It's gonna take a while. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Like I said, if you've been there, a lot of people take out their phones and activate their little flashlights and wave them back and forth. And and there's extra lights on the stage that they rig to a point of flashiness, especially when the DJs are out. That's pretty much what they mimic. That's pretty much what they mimicked surprisingly well here.
I like that a lot with all the unicorns lighting up their horns. They lit all their horns. Including Rarity. Rarity got into it, I saw. Was I the only one that thought that pony, the manager pony...
Sven Gallop?
Yeah, Sven Gallop kind of looked like one of the night talk show hosts, late night talk show hosts, like Conan or something like that. So it's just me. Please tell me that's not just me.
I can kind of see that. Now that you actually bring it up.
We need a comparison. Hang on.
But only in looks. His character is obviously not... obviously not everyone's favorite.
What was his name again?
Sven Gallop.
Sven. There he is. Oh, I don't know how to spell Sven. Sven Gallop. Fan Gallop. That's what Google thought it said. Perfect. Yeah, we got Sven Gallop and. Ooh, wait. Let me. Maybe he kind of looks like a CNN news reporter. That's what I might have thought.
He's dressed appropriately.
Yeah, nice little tux. No, I don't really like night talk shows. They're all super one-sided.
I think it depends. I think it depends on who you're watching and who they actually get to either talk with or play for them. One of my favorites, actually, because one of my favorites actually is Eileen when she had Green Day on for one night.
There we go. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. So we got this guy, right? He's from CNN. He's like...
Anderson Cooper.
And we got this guy. See the resemblance?
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little more.
I think we got this. I think they got this. I think the suit's right, but the hairdo is this. Suit's right, but the hairdo. Andrew Cooper's a bit more laid down, whereas Sven Gallop's a bit poopy.
That's something I've always kind of wanted. I do love how the show has kind of not strayed away from too many questionable stories. You know what I mean? Like, or topical. It just tries to teach you basically universally liked rules, which I've always liked shows that do that. Just try to stay away from more controversial stuff. Or more questionable things. Like even the show is like, find yourself, these easy things that everyone needs to work on. This, I think, out of most episodes, this has a very obvious lesson comparatively. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
One of the more obvious of them, yeah. They've kind of strayed away. Okay, I don't know. They've kind of done both recently. They've kind of had like in-your-face lessons, and then they've had episodes where they're like kind of off to the side. I kind of like this style the best of episode lessons because it's not quite in your face, but it's still there. I kind of felt the first like super DJ song, the first, like, I think it was Razzle Dazzle or something is what it was called.
The Spectacle.
I think it was supposed to be over the top, but I think it stepped its place a little.
Game a little too high.
Huh?
The game was a little too high.
Yeah, it was like trying to be too obvious, like, I am the bad version of the song type of deal. You know what I mean? It just hurt because I like that type of song. Struck deep. Intensity 4,000. The story was pretty straightforward. It was one of the more simple. I think overall the songs were definitely the highlight, and that's obviously the point. Kind of watching it back, it was a pretty simple episode with a simple premises. which is fine, totally fine. Just a little out of the blue as well with the characters, you know what I mean? Because we've never heard of these characters. I think they've pulled the Amazing Singer card way too many times. You know what I mean? Because we've got the Awesome Singer like 4 times now. What is it? We have Countess Colors, or we got. They even kind of poke fun at it in this episode, where Applejack's confused as to like, you know, who, what, another one, sort of deal. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It is interesting though that she had a connection with it. Actually, had a connection with this one since he was a filly.
It's true, definitely. I guess I just kind of felt like they, again, they were kind of pulling an easy card. I mean, like they kind of, instead of using what they have, they kind of made up another character, which is fine. Again, I do like continuity, or like if they instead of pulling something from somewhere you've never seen, they kind of stuck with what they've got and worked around it. It's kind of a hard ball. I don't know. It's not like a huge diss on them by any means. This is kind of, yeah, you did make the point of she is more personally attached comparatively to other characters or other pop stars.
It's interesting because Applejack is actually, at this point, a national hero, whereas Coloratura, or Rara, as AJ likes to call her, is in the music business.
I do still kind of find it funny how, like, yeah, like, if you're somebody booking, you know, if you were her manager, you wouldn't probably work very hard. I think you wouldn't have to work very hard to get her, because she's like, oh, I'm Pinky, you know, the person that helped save like this nation like 5 times already. Like, it's coming back to the whole, why are the main 6 awestruck by anything? Because they are kind of like heroes. They're kind of national heroes.
Nation and the world, actually. Imagine what some of those villains would have done to every other creature. The griffins, maybe a sea pony or 2.
Yeah. I can it's okay if, like, different species don't know, but, like, it's not much of an excuse if you're a pony and you still don't know who the main 6 are, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, you know, who's this? Applejack? Oh, yeah, I sort of remember you from camp. It's like, wouldn't you know me from, you know, the newspaper?
Wouldn't you ever see would you ever see that news article at least once?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming their news right now, their news is still read more often, you know, because it's kind of like the paper print era they're in right now. By the way, fun book about printing. What is it called? It's called Making Money. That's a good one. Funny book. Covers the topic of news rooms and stuff. All right, maybe the Equestrian News Service is just really awful.
I think it depends on who's editor in chief.
That might be it, yeah. Oh, is it the Cutie Mark Crusaders?
Because I'm referring to Point of View Confidential. I'm referring to Point of View Confidential, where they had to at the end quickly switch chiefs on the basis that.
Yeah. I hope the CMC are still not the founders of the only news apparently that goes around everywhere. Wait, okay, who was taking the picture for Luna when she was at the orphanage in that in the Royal Problem episode. I think it was called Royal Problem, where Starlight switched their cutie marks. What newspaper was that for? I think that was the Full Press, I think, or something like that. Did they have a branch all the way out in the capital? They have so much money, this small school, that they've sent.
There's usually a lot of local papers. Like, we have the Seattle Times. I think Boston has its Herald. New York has its Times, and yeah, you probably get it. Yeah, you probably get the idea.
Do you think this concert would have been advertised across Equestria? Probably. It's kind of like if a big enough band came anywhere. Is Ponyville Ponyville's kind of made out to be this. They keep calling it like a podink town and stuff like that, but then it seems like everyone congregates there. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot bigger than they make it out to be.
A lot of times they congregate there.
Yeah, it's like.
Since in the movie, everyone was pretty much at Canterlot.
It's like Canterlot and Ponyville are the capitals of this society. If it's big enough area, you wouldn't have to build up very far. We only build up in our world because we just run out of room. Ponyville's really big. We don't really get an air shot except the really outdated pictures from them from the intro. Maybe it's expanded since then. And is this on Applejack's farm, by the way, the concert? It was, wasn't it? Because of the apple trees around the area. And the whole concert stadium being an apple and all.
I suppose.
What do they do with the stage afterwards? Is it an actual apple? She's really stepped up her game since the Flutterbat episode. You know, when she was growing that giant apple? She's moved into a new league. I mean, it might have been a real apple. It's hard to say. They never confirm or deny it. Oh, and I like that callback to the Twilight projection from, how she was projecting images with her horn, like the plan that she was projecting when they were trying to catch Flutterbat again.
The fun thing is, however, that was not like the fun thing about that is actually this time it was like an actual video camera, whereas opposed to bats, it was more of a
like a Hoth base, like wireframe projection, kind of like Green Leader. And like those guys, in the background that had the giant plexiglass things, and they were drawing lines on them. Basically that, but projected.
Yeah.
Sheets of glass. I've always loved those. That's like my favorite. I want one of those in my room so bad. I just want a giant piece of glass, and I'll just draw things on it. It'll have big circles, and I'll pretend to be guiding ships around. And then I'll declare very loudly. It's like, ion cannon ready. Fire. And then I'll have speakers hooked up, and it'll go like really loud explosions. You'll hear. Go deaf from the blast.
And you'll be waiting for the report. The first transport is away.
Oh, that's my favorite. Like, the first transport is away. The first transport is away. We have a chance of not dying. Yay. It's such a fleeting hope that is like, well, one of them got away. Orange tongue to the rescue. Oh yeah. You know why their tongues are orange? Is there some lore behind this? Why does an orange tongue like look okay too? Because tongues aren't orange.
I think I think where it became a bit. I think. Well, I think they're trying to. Well, I think almost every. Well, I think for almost every cartoon, they try to do something that looks similar to how our tongues usually look.
Must know. America, explain. I think it's just contrast. Contrast always helps. Should we put a little line like that? Oh yeah, that helps. He's really concentrating on this now.
Yeah.
Maybe one right there too. Yeah, I think that helps too.
Totally.
Should give her some fluff. She's focusing so hard. No. It's like a bead of sweat running down her head. Just cheating and stealing. See, I'm stealing the colors from her face. I'm sucking the color, the tone from her face. Ah, it's mine. Well, that's a tongue layer. She's kind of like, she's almost a Lyra Green. You know what I mean?
Almost.
She's just slightly different than a Lyra Green. No, I like Lyra and all, but you gotta get. Come on, you gotta get your own color. It's kind of like they're almost running out of colors. You know what I mean? You kind of get. We haven't gotten any major repeats. Kind of. Well, okay. Oh wait. You immediately flashes back to the Pinkie Pie in the rave. Is that intentional? That had to have been intentional. That's a problem. Get rid of that. I didn't do that. I did not do that, guys. That's not going on the record, right? You can edit that out.
I'll say this: for as much as I hate Spin Gallop, I do like how he managed to throw a callback here or there to certain things, like Gustave Legrand and his eclairs, Appaloosa, and Cherry Jubilee.
Croissants. There's no croissants. I want me a croissant. You know what I always think of when I think of eclairs? I always kind of flash back to the SpongeBob episode, that really weird SpongeBob episode with Sandy Cheeks and they're on that island. It was such a weird episode. You know what I'm talking about?
My exposure to SpongeBob has been limited, minimal.
Why not? Why have you not seen?
I mean, I know him. I just haven't seen every single episode per se, nor neither of the movies.
Well, I haven't seen every episode either, but the originals are the best. By the way, just like season 2 is like where you should stop. If you're gonna watch them, just watch 1 and 2, maybe 3. Yeah, and then they kind of get bad from there. Don't need the rest. That's good. That's all the exposure you need.
I heard, however, the original creator was brought back for the Sponge Out of Water movie.
No, was it? I did not know such things. We want the lighter lights. There we go.
Also, France is technically canon as Prance, Prance, because in the Cutie Pox episode, Apple Bloom was basically, when Apple Bloom was quote unquote speaking fancy, it's actually French.
Oh. France is confirmed. I have a quote. I gotta look it up. I think it was by like General. It was one of our generals from World War II, right? And this quote was, "Bringing France into a battle is basically like bringing a accordion into it." Actually, no. It was forgetting France in a battle is basically forgetting your accordion.
And of course, Gustave was speaking in a French flair.
Oh well, yes. And he surrendered in the end. He gave up. All of the stereotypes are coming back. Do you think this is pretty good for now? And then I should move on to the flag?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't really know what else I can add without going, super high definition, which I'm kind of straying away from. Oop, shoot. Like this. There you go. Maybe that. I don't really know. What would shadow right here look like? Kind of like that. That's probably all I can do. All right, let's switch to the flag. Wherever I put that. Right here. It's on top, technically. What am I doing?
Oh.
There you go. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Now I gotta mute all of these backgrounds. When you have like 83 layers. Okay, what else? Maybe sarcasm. What are some points that you saw? What are some things that stood out to you?
Nothing in particular. I just thought it's a really good episode. And it was a good Applejack episode. That's not something I could say for many Applejack episodes.
I agree with that a lot, actually. Applejack's kind of had a rocky showing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's usually not my. Usually she's not my favorite of the main six, but then there are episodes like this that really shine.
I think she's kind of I think she's kind of written wrong a lot of times. She could be a really good character, I think, but it's kind of weak. Her showing is kind of weak usually.
Yeah, I think the issue with Applejack is that she knows exactly what she wants in life. She's already there, so there isn't much room to, grow from that.
That's a good point.
So there isn't much change when it comes to Applejack.
I guess, that's a good point. They kind of just have her backpedal whenever she has an episode. Where she's like, oh, I lied on accident, or something along those lines. It's like, or like something to do with lying or something like that, where she should lie or something and she doesn't, or she's too loyal, or I mean too trust to shoot. She's too honest. Sorry, couldn't think of the word for some reason. And it backfires. That's usually I think they usually play her her card as just being, oh, she's too loyal. Wow. Or, I mean, too honest. And Rainbow Dash is just too loyal. Or something. That's usually the card they both play for them. Maybe just the extremes. They were too good at them, or they forgot about them. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. And they're like, it's okay. I guess Applejack's kind of, yeah, she's kind of too perfect. She's kind of sassy, I guess. But that's not really like something you could base a whole episode on.
They almost went there. They almost went there back in Simple Ways.
Oh, the Equestria girls are you talking about?
They almost played her sassy in Simple Ways.
Ah. It's very true. I just snapped onto your the live stream. I do like your picture you chose for the lower half.
I had to find something where Rara was basically facing away from Sven Geller to use the Scout. It helps promote the independent image kind of thing I was going for.
Oh, okay. I watch it for the plot, guys.
A lot of people say that.
Okay, guys, watch me struggle for another 3 minutes while I try to draw a little squiggly squigs in the sun. Can we just skip this or something? Can I just skip the sun?
Doesn't feel complete without it.
What does Fernando look like, the straw? I need to find that again. Was Fernando orange? If Fernando was orange, that would be a huge flexing. Where is Fernando? Fernando the Straw is my favorite OC. Favorite character. I said mute. Jeez. Oh, okay. Dang, he's white. That doesn't help. See, I was gonna put Fernando the Straw as the but it's gonna go like this. Like that. Over. That's where Fernando the Straw is going, by the way. I was gonna include him somewhere. This is Fernando the Straw. He's a little saucy. Fernando is kind of a Mexican sounding name. Spanish sounding name. It's a good thing I put 5 of these, because that's that's pretty close to something. I just realized. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's two. That makes 2 in one episode. Did you guys notice that? Please tell me you didn't.
Notice what?
Okay, I need to really emphasize these are squads. Might get demonetized otherwise. Get it, Alex, please. That's Fernando's. That's his contribution to this art. I mean, without the reference, it might look okay.
I think the term you're looking for is characters, in quotation marks, considering that one time Pinkie Pie went crazy and basically just made characters out of inanimate objects.
Best episode. What is the best episode? What truly is the best episode? Yes. You're asking a hard question there. Need like a circle I can go off of to draw the princesses in. Maybe if I can just give it lines. Make it there. Her head should terminate here. Here. Oh, it should terminate there. This is the lines. Okay. It's kind of it's a pretty complex flag, to be honest. It's definitely one of the more complicated ones. I mean, like, if you look at all of the nation's flags, like 30% of them are just copies of the U.S. flag, and then the rest of them are kind of like copies of the British flag. It's like all nation flags.
I think I know what you're talking about. There's usually there's a lot of stripes. There's a lot of line. There's a lot of line motif in U.S., U.K., and France. U.S. is a bit of a contrast though with the stars and whatnot.
So if we just take like a broad one like this, see, look at all these ones. We got a British flag, British flag, British flag, British, and then we got U.S. copycat, we got U.S. copycat, we got U.S. copycat, U.S. copycat, U.S. copycat, U.S. copycat. Lots of them. Well, I mean, it makes sense that a lot of them have the British flag because they like owned half the world at one point.
Yes.
So it's like, hey guys, your flag now has our flag.
Apologies, by the way, if this feels kind of offensive. It really isn't.
Oh, yeah, it just makes sense. There's a lot of yellow from just looking at lots of red and yellow and green. Those are like the three main colors. I think red is the most common. For blood. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit extreme. Isn't that what it means in our flag, though? Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? No. No, it's a little different. Maybe that's true, I don't know. Oh, whoa.
Oh.
Go back.
I would have suggested doing it. I would have suggested using the all search instead.
Abort.
Sorry about that.
Avert your eyes, younglings. We gotta do. Let me just let's do comparative. Let's do comparison. Got this one. Let's see, is this a good one?
What did I say about music?
I It's a Star Spangled Banner. It's not copyrighted. This one. Let's look up the lyrics and just sing them. It's kind of, you got. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's reference. Twilight's. So she ran out of magic.
I think Twilight's been a common name since the dawn of time. I think Twilight's been a common use since the dawn of time.
It's basically a song about us being shelled at a fort, and then the flag's still there after the British shelled us, even though they shelled us all day. We survived! Yay! And the national anthem for Equestria is kind of just. Is it a statement? If they sent it out into space, would it really give off their mission as a nation? I think we've sent our national anthem into space. Maybe one day it will collide with Equestria. We'll get to hear our pure national, just glory, right? We'll be like, what's the song about? It sounds like somebody got, it sounds like fireworks or something. Got rockets and stuff. I'm kind of scared to draw these. Kind of hard to draw. Oh well. Get over it. The good thing the Cutie Mark Crusaders knew their anthem beforehand. Like, it seems like half of everyone in the United States doesn't know theirs.
I think that's one of the early things you learn in school.
You used to Pledge of Allegiance. Do they still do the Pledge of Allegiance every day? I know that's not the national anthem, but
I think it depends. I haven't been to that many schools, honestly, but
yeah, because at my school, my school is a bit weird that we did the Christian flag and then we do the Pledge of Allegiance, which I always found fun. I mean, it got tedious, but when I look back on it, it's a good memory.
Back in elementary, we'd start with the national flag, then the Christian flag, and then the Bible.
We did the Bible. I forgot about that too. Yeah. I wish we did the Bible more. It's a cool one. Do you think they got a 4th of July in Equestria? Personally, I doubt it. But I mean, it'd be pretty rad because they got fireworks built into their heads, basically.
It's a bit strange, honestly, since their founding compensated with a winter-based holiday.
That's true. I forgot about that. I don't remember any fireworks. Come on, guys, you're missing out on an opportunity to be blowing stuff up. many of my friends' favorite holiday, the 4th of July, because it's just so nuts.
I'm more of a Christmas guy myself.
That's true. It's a close second for a lot of them. I didn't actually get to shoot fireworks off. I was super sad. Next year, I'm going to go blow some stuff up.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad on the 4th of July, mainly because the dog gets anxiety attacks, so it's I have to deal with that, and yeah.
That sucks. I think that's why they got banned in Kent. Yeah, they're getting banned in a lot of places.
I usually leave the fireworks to a professional.
Oh, no, man. It's more fun when you nearly blow something up.
That's what they're afraid of. Someone might go a bit psychic, and someone might go psycho and become a terrorist or something.
It's pretty safe. Actually, to be honest, the scariest I've ever been with fireworks. Guess what the scariest thing I've ever been, or what was the scariest thing I've ever done with fireworks? Guys.
I get a feeling it's attached to something personal.
No, not really. I mean, I have friends around me. Let's take a guess. Take a wild guess. What would you say, sarcasm? What do you think the scariest thing I've been? What was the scariest thing I've ever done with fireworks?
Honestly, I can't really think of anything.
Alex, it's your turn. Come on, this is easy. No, not really easy.
You check for a dud and it suddenly goes off.
Close. So, have you ever heard of a sparkler bomb before?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you know what they are?
Kind of, but it's been a while since I've actually seen them. But I think I generally know what they are.
Okay. For those people out there who don't know, if you're watching this later, it's basically you take those sparklers, they're metal rods with like magnesium or something on them.
Yeah, my family used to. Once my family bought those and lit them off in the backyard.
Yeah, those. You can hold them and they sparkle, basically. The scariest thing I've done with fireworks is you take those, right? You take like 9 or so packs of those, maybe 20 or so, like basically a couple hundred of them. Take a couple hundred of those sparklers, and then you get a roll of duct tape, and you roll the entire thing in duct tape. You take them all out of the boxes, and you roll them into a giant stick with duct tape, and you just cover the entire thing with duct tape, and you stick one sparkler sticking out of the stick, out of the big wad of sparklers, and then you light that sparkler, and then you run for your life. So we did this, and we lit the one sparkler sticking out of the bomb of other sparklers, and we ran for our lives. I had a car and stuff, so we jumped behind the car. And I actually brought a shield. I sat behind my shield. And the sparkler went down and down and down, and then it hit the other 100 sparklers. And it just, like, literally exploded, like, just a massive explosion of, like, magnesium and just stuff. The worst part about it was it flung like these little metal rods of metal everywhere. It was like a shrapnel grenade. It was amazing. We were all like jumping for like metal rods flew in every direction.
There's a couple of Mythbusters things that has brought up. The million match bomb, and when they were trying to solve the mystery of thermite and ice.
It looks like thermite, but it's not. It's just all of those sparklers get suddenly extremely excited and they just go like, boom, because they all go off at once. And instead of sparkling, they just, since they're wrapped up, they just have, the heat has nowhere to go except all at once. It's amazing. But you'd think it wouldn't be that scary because they're sparklers. I think the scariest I've ever had as well, another scary thing I've done was we lit a mortar on the beach. I lit a mortar. Oh, my cousin.
Oh my!
So we lit the mortar. It was like a M80 or something. It had, it was like grenade-sized mortar. So it weighed like a couple grams. It was a pretty big one. And then, so we lit it, and it, like, the wind was blowing really hard, and the mortar tube fell over, and it like launched this mortar shell like across the beach, and it landed under somebody's car. And like blew up their car. It was such a big explosion. It was like, just like red sparks go flying everywhere. We thought it'd blow up their gas tank or something. It was such a big explosion.
I can only imagine the bill. I can only imagine the bill they had to. I can only imagine what. I can only imagine how much you had to pay for that.
We didn't pay anything. We just looked away and pretended it wasn't us. Yeah, so that was great.
Everyone does that.
So basically, we kind of did. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Here's a good representation of it. Hold on. Maybe they can't show this video, but basically, maybe I'll show you guys later. Oh my gosh, yeah. So if you guys do a sparkler bomb, suggested. I wouldn't suggest it at home, maybe, but if you guys do it, I can't stop you. Take the metal rods off of them. Break up the powder and just put it in something else or something like that. Just make it less shrapnel. How about that?
I would leave this kind of stuff to a Mythbuster, to be honest. They blow it up, so you don't have to.
Oh my gosh! I think the one thing you can't. Okay, that's a good point, right? The one thing that I say that doing it at home is the best part. I wouldn't suggest doing what they do. But, fireworks, they're fine, fireworks. The one thing I think is okay, the best thing you can't represent is the thud. Oh, the thud is amazing. Like, videos cannot get that across. Like, the explosion you feel in your chest, oof. It is such a deep feeling. It's like, boom. And it feels like somebody kind of reached into your chest and punched you, sort of. Oh, it's amazing. Especially those mortar tubes. Those mortar tubes sound amazing. They feel amazing, too. They're something you can't replicate. It's not like a gun either. Guns are... Okay, maybe if you shot a Mosin Nagant before, that it's kind of like that, but, like, it's not the same. Hard to represent. You guys ever... I don't think Equestria has the Second Amendment. Probably not.
All other weaponry is magic based.
That's true. They're kind of walking around with even more dangerous things on their heads. To be honest, I'm surprised. Yeah. They probably have a lot of magic-based amendments. Why am I doing this in black? What the heck am I doing? Ugh. It's getting late, guys. Can you tell? Okay, that's pretty easy. I can just... Oh, shoot. Yeah. Just want the star. Oh no, the star is touching the top of it. Do you see that? It's so hard to see. Can you see those?
You have to be in an angle to.
Appreciate those. Look at that, I can kind of cheat. Okay, all of this needs to be blue as well, like light blue. Perfect, except that Luna's colored in. You know? Done, guys!
There's a few areas you need to.
I think that's the sound it would make, you know what I mean? Wait, why am I not drawing? Oh, it's in blue. Guys, why isn't it drawing? You're drawing in blue, Nate. On the blue. You're not going to be able to fit as many stars as they did on their side. But it's the thought that counts, right?
There's always going to be something like a Rubik counter. There's always going to be something like a Rubik counter.
Maybe somebody out there is like, you only have 45 stars, where it's got actually 47. Sorry, guys. I'm not a perfect being. And my art is far from perfect. It's going to be lopsided, too, because Luna's bigger than Celestia.
Yeah, you're nowhere near either Pixel Kitties or John Josico or the like.
Oh, shoot. You gotta make a bunch of triangles. Alright. So you've never seen SpongeBob, but you've seen that in like 5 hours later. Transition scenes.
I'm not saying I haven't seen SpongeBob. There's a few episodes that I can recap. One where he's one that sort of capitalizes on the running gag of trying to drive.
The what? Sorry.
I never said I never saw SpongeBob. There were a few episodes I can actually recap. The one where he's trying to drive, and there's also the red pants running gag.
Oh, that one, yeah. Patrick's my favorite character for those. It's not really a Patrick. There's not really like, I guess Spike is sort of the Patrick. Isn't this Tony Stark's logo? Wait, did I just draw a bunch of Tony Stark logos? No. Or is that just the Avengers? No. I thought he had a logo like this, didn't he? The Avengers logo kind of looks like this. It just kind of looks like, or like that, sort of. You guys watch Marvel very much?
Yep.
You see the new Ant-Man?
Not yet.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I was waiting until after the first week so it's not as crowded.
That's true. It was pretty crowded when I went. Do you watch a lot, Alex?
I haven't really caught up as of late, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, I like that. I like that shape. I don't know why. I kind of like this shape right here. I just realized that I kind of like this shape. Like this. Huh. That might be my new logo right there. I always like shapes and weird random things. Kind of a weird person for that. What do we got so far? Apparently I missed quite a lot of her background. Like, a lot. There we go, that's better.
You still haven't colored those two yet.
Yeah, I haven't colored that. It's less than Luna in yet, no. Now that I think about it, it's kind of pointless for me to have the straw at all. Can't even see Fernando. I'm kind of trying to figure out what I should do for the stars too, because I got them outlined and all, but other than that. Oh, need those. There we go. I mean, I could just try to do this. Oh, see, but that happens all the time. I'll just do all the centers to be safe. Oh, I forgot all these.
Yeah, that's a tool I was thinking you could probably have a better time with those.
So, do you have any final ideas, you guys? It probably won't take much longer on this, to be honest. I could polish it up, but yeah. It's kind of the background, so it's not going to be really focused on anyways. It's a fun episode.
A very fitting, yeah, definitely a very fitting send off for Amy.
Yeah. Kind of short lived, sadly. Actually, these stars, they're scribbly, right? But it's kind of like that in some of their renditions of the flag. Like, the flag is kind of scribbly in general. Well,
It kind of brought back the art style that was in the pilot episode where they were basically explaining the basically setting things up, and it was in storybook format too. I kind of wish a lot more cases actually did that, especially fantasy movies.
The format is pretty common now. Do you think it brought in a new era of that type of episode? You're trying to say? They kind of did that type of episode for a while. One simple problem. It does have kind of the one simple problem. I kind of liked the latest episode because it kind of covered several topics, sort of. I mean, it's fun because it had multiple paths. I do kind of like multiple path episodes better, I think. Not too many paths. This one, because then you fragment your focus, and then you don't really care about any of the paths in the end. But
are you talking about the mid-season finale, the Mean Six?
Yeah, no, the mid-season finale. Yeah, it had branching ideas, but didn't have too many. Without having too many, like, I don't know, split attention. I'm like totally zoning out with these stars. These are not my best stars, but there's so many of them. I just can't focus on them. It'd take forever if I tried to go through all of these, perfect them. At least there's not 50 of them.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty close to 50 though. It's like 30 or so, which is like, that's quite a lot.
I don't think there's much of a state, province, or city representation when they have the stars. That's basically one part of the night, the moon is part of the night, sun is the day, and of course there's the two Braille sisters.
Yeah. So who designed the flag?
Are you thinking of a character in the show, or the artist team?
I guess kind of the show. Like, who would have come up with it? Would it have been in honor of the princesses, or would it have been... Oh shoot, I forgot the tails. Somehow. It's just gonna go tailless, guys, sorry. Maybe I'll fix it if I have time. I feel like it. Two things gotta line up. I gotta feel like it, and I gotta have time. think it's closed now. Kind of like a dark blue. Boom, boom.
There you go.
Yes, boom. And like a purple. Boom. Wow. There we are. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Although it's how it is now, you pretty much completely blocked the middle section that you worked on.
That's very true. That's very true. What's this one? What if we do? I'll do a layer like up here.
Sorry, guys. I think we're getting. Colin, I think we're getting background noise again.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. Do like a massive brush. Like that.
Ah, we're giving it the spotlight touch.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, like that. I don't know. What do you think? Have it like that or like that?
Spotlight touch actually really brings it out.
What?
That spotlight touch really brings it out.
Do you like the spotlight type of deal? Kind of looks like she's singing, for sure, in front of a stage or something. How about there's an edit? How about I'll send you the with spotlight and without spotlight version.
Yeah, because they both look good.
Are you gonna finish the Tales beforehand?
Yeah, I could do that. Just touching up all this stuff I missed. What layer am I missing? Is this one? Okay. Alright, Tails. Tails. It's just like a swoopity whoop. Swoopity whoop. Swoopity whoop. Swoopity whoop. Swoop. I'm very sorry if you got that reference.
I was more thinking along the lines of shoo-ba-doop.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking of that. That's a better song than I was thinking of. Swoopity whoop. Swoopity whoop. You make a copyright strike from me just singing it.
I think it has to be. I think it has to be the actual. I think it has to be the actual recording, or I think it has to be an actual.
Yeah, sound right.
Something officially authenticated in order to.
Oh wait, she doesn't have a purple tail.
I was about to mention that.
Wait.
Officially authenticated in the iTunes library, held by a record company and whatnot to actually get it.
Wait a second. She doesn't have a purple tail. Wait a second. Hold on a cotton picking minute. It's a long time, by the way. Just a mouth, a disembodied mouth floating there. It's cute. Oh, this looks so ugly without the outlines. Wow.
That really brings it out.
Oh, yeah, we're having lighting issues. Epilepsy warning. Look at that. I think I like the shadows because it draws attention away from the trash stars. Okay.
Like you said, you can send me both.
All right. I think that's a good end.
Yeah, I guess we can overall agree it was a good send off for Amy King Rogers.
It was.
Yeah, I consider it to be one of the top episodes of that season.
Far, yeah. I think. Let me see. What's in that season again? Let me check.
Crusaders of the Lost Mark is one of them. That's my favorite of that season.
The Cutie Mark Remark. Yeah, that's a pretty good. Those are pretty good episodes. I think. Ugh. 5 overall was a pretty good season, actually. Slice of Life, you got Slice of Life in 5. I mean, it's got a lot to contend with.
It's been hard to find some seasons later or earlier that's been topping that. That's for sure.
Got Tanks for the Memories. Both Starlight, the ending and the
Premiere and the finale.
Premiere, yeah, the premiere and the finale were both I liked quite a lot. I love the Starlight stuff. Starlight is one of my faves. If you go to my channel, one of my only speed arts on there is of Starlight. So yeah.
You were talking about a real problem as well.
A what? Sorry.
You were talking about a real problem over that.
Oh yeah. I think I submitted that to Quest for Your Daily. I think they put it in too. They put it on their Starlight Day. It's on like the miscellaneous page though.
Wow. All right. I guess that pretty much wraps everything up pretty nicely. We should hopefully be back to regular Saturday schedule by the 21st, because like I said, I'll be gone until like I said, I'll be gone starting tomorrow, and probably be back late Friday maybe, and then we'll be back to regular schedule. On Saturday.
That should be the plan. Yeah.
21st.
And from what I've heard, it sounds like the season might pick back up, like soon, almost.
Yeah, it's going to pick back up starting in August.
Jeez. What do we got so far? We got July. Oh!
2 more weeks.
Like bittersweet because I like July because I got parking at my work, but I want ponies, so it's a hard medium. But then we got September. It's like yes. All right, guys, I'm calling it tonight.
So yeah, we'll hopefully see most of you back on the 21st.
See you guys.
Take care.